Amira had always dreamed of a better life. She married young, had two beautiful children, and lived in a small but cozy home with her loving husband, Hassan. However, their modest means couldn't provide the luxuries Amira craved. One fateful evening, Amira met Rashid, a wealthy businessman. He showered her with attention, gifts, and promises of a life she'd only dreamed of. Amira was torn. She loved Hassan and her children, but Rashid's wealth and influence beckoned. The temptation grew stronger with each passing day. Rashid's words echoed in her mind, "Leave your husband and come with me. I'll give you the world." Amira made the painful decision to leave. To abandon Hassan and their children, embracing a life of luxury. "Listen, Hassan," Amira said, her voice cold and detached. "I'm tired of living in poverty. I deserve better. Your mechanic shop will never provide the life I want." Hassan's eyes widened in shock. "What are you talking about, Amira? We've built a life together. We have our children, our home." "Exactly." Amira snapped, "I deserve more than this cramped apartment and hand-me-down clothes. I deserve the best outfit, the best house, the best life. But what about our love?" Hassan pleaded. "What about the promises we made to each other?" "Love doesn't put food on the table," Amira retorted, her voice dripping with bitterness. "Love doesn't pay the bills. Rashid can give me everything we've ever dreamed of." Hassan fell to his knees, grasping Amira's hands. "Please, don't go. Think of our children. They need you." "Their mother." Amira yanked her hands free. "I will come back for them when I make it in life." As Hassan begged her to stay, Amira's resolve hardened. She packed her bags, leaving behind the only life she'd ever known. "Goodbye, Hassan," she said, her voice devoid of emotion. The door closed behind Amira, leaving Hassan shattered and alone. Their children, Ali and Layla, clung to their father, tears streaming down their faces. "Where's mommy going?" Ali asked, his small voice trembling. Hassan hugged them tight. "Mommy's going away for a little while, but we'll always love her." Amira's life with Rashid was a whirlwind of luxury and extravagance. He showered her with gifts, took her on lavish vacations, and introduced her to the city's elite. Rashid's attention and affection made Amira feel like a queen. She had never felt so desired, so loved, but there were moments, fleeting glimpses, that made Amira wonder. Rashid's phone would ring, and he'd hastily excuse himself. He'd receive mysterious messages, his expression darkening. "Who is it?" Amira would ask, curiosity piqued. "No one," Rashid would reply, his smile returning. "Just business." Amira pushed aside her doubts, convinced Rashid loved her. Unbeknownst to Amira, Rashid was hiding a secret. He was married. With two children, his wife, Jamila, had grown accustomed to Rashid's infidelities. She turned a blind eye, maintaining the facade of their perfect marriage. Rashid's spending on Amira was staggering. Designer clothes, jewelry, and a luxurious penthouse apartment. Jamila's patience wore thin as Rashid's expenses mounted. "How much more will you waste on this?" She spat. Rashid silenced her with a glance. "Mind your own business, Jamila." As Amira's relationship with Rashid deepened, she began to notice inconsistencies. Rashid's schedule changed frequently, and he'd cancel plans at the last minute. "Where are you?" Amira would ask, her voice tinged with suspicion. "Business meetings." Rashid would reply, his tone reassuring. One fateful evening, Amira stumbled upon a photograph on Rashid's phone. A family portrait, Rashid, Jamila, and their two children. Amira's world shattered. "Who is this?" she demanded, her voice trembling. Rashid's expression darkened. That's my sister and her family." Amira's eyes narrowed. "Don't lie to me." The truth dawned on her. She was a side chick, a secret mistress. Amira's heart broke into a million pieces. Rashid's expression changed from shock to calmness. Amira, sit down. Let's talk. Amira's eyes blazed with anger and hurt. You're married, she spat. Rashid nodded, his voice devoid of remorse. Yes, I am. And I never intended to marry you, Amira. The words cut deep. Amira felt like she'd been punched in the gut. Why did you lie to me? She demanded, tears streaming down her face. Rashid shrugged. I wanted you, and I knew you'd never agree to be my mistress if you knew the truth. Amira's voice trembled. You used me. Rashid's expression turned cold. You knew what you were getting into, Amira. You wanted luxury, and I provided it. Amira's eyes widened in horror. You think that's all I am? A gold digger? Rashid's smile was condescending. Isn't it? You left your husband and children for me, for this life. Amira felt a stinging slap from his words. She realized she'd made a terrible mistake. What do you want from me now? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Rashid's eyes roamed over her. I want you to stay mine, Amira. My side chick. My secret. Amira's heart sank. She'd lost herself in this toxic relationship. With a newfound determination, Amira stood up. I won't be your mistress. I deserve better. Rashid's laughter sent chills down her spine. You'll come crawling back. You need me. Amira's response was resolute. I'd rather die than stay with you. She walked out of Rashid's life, leaving behind the luxury and pain, but Amira knew she had a long journey ahead, rebuilding her life, healing her heart, and finding self-love. Months passed since Amira left Rashid. She struggled to make ends meet, her pride wounded. Meanwhile, Hassan's life took an unexpected turn. An old school friend, now a successful businessman, offered him a lucrative partnership. Hassan's mechanic shop flourished, and he became a respected entrepreneur. Amira learned of Hassan's newfound success through social media. Her heart swelled with pride and regret. She longed to reconnect with Hassan and their children. One day, Amira gathered her courage and visited Hassan's new mansion. Ali and Layla, now teenagers, opened the door. Their expressions were cold. Mom? Ali asked, uncertainty in his voice. Amira's eyes welled up with tears. My babies, I'm so sorry. I was wrong to leave. Hassan appeared, his face stern. What do you want, Amira? Amira fell to her knees. I want to come back home. I want to be part of your lives again. Hassan's voice was firm. You weren't there when we needed you most. Why should we let you back in? Amira's tears flowed freely. I was blinded by greed and luxury. I realize now what truly matters. Ali and Layla exchanged glances, their faces unyielding. You abandoned us, Ali said, his voice cracking. We don't need you now. Layla's words cut deep. You missed our childhood, Mom. You can't just waltz back in. Hassan's expression softened slightly. Amira, I've moved on. I've found happiness without you. Amira's world crumbled. She realized too late that her choices had consequences. As she left Hassan's mansion, Amira understood that forgiveness wouldn't come easily. She vowed to rebuild her life, prove herself, and hopefully, one day, earn back their trust. But could that be easy? After everything I did to them, she asked herself in a low voice. Amira's rejection by Hassan and their children left her shattered. She had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. With a heavy heart, Amira made her way back to Rashid's mansion, hoping he would take her in, but as she arrived, she noticed a change. The gates were locked, and the windows were dark. Amira knocked on the door, and after a moment, it swung open. Rashid stood before her, his expression unyielding. Amira, what are you doing here? He asked, his voice cold. Amira's eyes welled up with tears. I have nowhere else to go. I was wrong to leave. Rashid's face twisted in disgust. You think I'd take you back? After you left me for Hassan, your lovely ex-husband, Amira fell to her knees. Please, Rashid. Forgive me, Rashid's voice turned stern. I've changed, Amira. I've gone back to my wife, Jamila. I've realized my mistakes. Amira's eyes widened in shock. You're going back to your wife? Rashid nodded. Yes. I promised to never cheat on her again. You were just a distraction. Amira felt a stinging slap from his words. You used me, she spat. Rashid shrugged. You used me too, Amira. For my wealth and status. The truth hit Amira hard. She had lost everything, Hassan, her children, and now Rashid. With a heavy heart, Amira rose to her feet. I deserve this, she whispered. Rashid's parting words cut deep. You should have thought of that before you left. The door slammed shut, leaving Amira alone in the darkness. Amira realized she had hit rock bottom. She had to rebuild her life, but where would she start? Amira stood alone in the darkness, the harsh reality of her situation sinking in. She had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. Shame and regret washed over her as she thought of her parents. She had abandoned them, too, in pursuit of luxury. With a heavy heart, Amira made her way to her parents' humble home, the only place she had left. As she approached the door, memories flooded her mind. She had left this very house, full of pride and ambition. Now, she returned, broken and defeated. Amira knocked on the door, her hand trembling. Her mother, Nana, opened the door, surprise etched on her face. Amira? Nana whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. Amira collapsed into her mother's arms. Sobbing uncontrollably, Nana held her close, stroking her hair. My child, welcome home. Amira's father, Baba, appeared, his expression stern but loving. Amira, we forgave you long ago, Baba said. But you must learn from your mistakes. Amira nodded, ashamed. I've learned, Baba. I've lost everything. Nana guided Amira to her old room, now filled with memories. As Amira settled in, she realized this was her chance to start anew, but the journey ahead wouldn't be easy. Amira faced the daunting task of rebuilding her life, earning back trust, and finding self-love.